Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing okay. Just got back from Texas not long ago. Some crazy, crazy stories to come out of there, I'll tell you. Oh my good grief. Can I get a quick audio check? Make sure I am able to be heard. Everyone can hear me loud and clear. Thank you very much. Audio is good. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good evening to everyone here. Good to see you all. Uh, I realized I didn't, outside of last week's Ask Sean session, send out a notice for that Wednesday session would move to Friday. So I do apologize if you turned up and missed that, and I forgot to change it in GoToMeeting as well. So yes, we are here. It is a Friday. We usually do this on a Wednesday and have a lot of fun there, but we've got the fun on Friday night. So instead of going out partying, getting drunk, and whatever else you usually do on a Friday, or curl up with a good book or a movie, if you're here with me, very much appreciate it. We'll have some fun indeed. So Texas, love Texas. We're actually planning on moving from California to Texas. We've got a lovely house out there already, but we're having a new one built. So we were going out doing some scouting, and I was looking at conference centers because we are planning on holding some live events, not just for members of the inner circle, but also some big events as well. So I was out there scouting, and just some strange things. LAX, which is Los Angeles' main airport, had some interesting security lapse because apparently in my laptop case was a Swiss Army knife that I had forgotten about because I stuffed it in there for some reason when I was doing something else. And apparently I went completely through LAX without them realizing that I had a large Swiss Army knife in the side of my laptop case. Coming back from San Antonio, they found it and scanned it and flagged it out. I didn't get the cavity search, thankfully, but you can imagine my face when they pulled that out of my case and the funny looks I got from every security agent right there. To which I said, "Oh, that's where it went. You know what? That was not an expensive one. Keep it. I don't need it, and stop looking at me like that and put that rubber glove down." So that was an interesting time. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, we had a stolen car. I was driving. I didn't even know it was stolen. What had happened was we had pulled up at the Westin on the Riverwalk, which, if you know San Antonio, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. It's right near the Alamo, and it's got a river running through it and everything else. And we had rented a Mustang. Beautiful Mustang, gunmetal gray, fully loaded, awesome, awesome vehicle. And we had pulled in from going looking at the properties and stuff like that. And as we pulled up, we said, "Hey, you know what? Leave it there. We're going to be just running upstairs, having a quick shower. We're going out to dinner." Anyway, they parked it up in one spot. We came down, said, "Oh, yes, okay, can I get the keys to the Mustang?" Guy came out, gave me the keys. We jumped in, and my wife said, "You know what? Who's been messing with the clock? The clock's off now. It was right earlier on." I said, "You know what? It's probably the valet. They've changed the dashboard settings here, all the dials and everything else because it's electronic dials." They said it's probably just kids, thinking, "Oh, cool, Mustang," and then, and what have you. Anyway, I had left my very expensive dinner jacket in the back of the Mustang. When I got to the restaurant, I looked in the back of the Mustang. I'm like, "Oh, it's gone." Maybe they were conscientious and put it in the trunk because it was parked outside of the front of the hotel. They were just being nice. So looked in the trunk. No, not there. Things are getting weird. Anyway, we had dinner, great dinner. Just some little things that it's not my car, so you know what it's like when you've got your own car. You know every intimate detail of your car. You could just look at it from the outside and know it's not yours. This was a rental. I'd only had it a few hours, hadn't paid attention. We got back to the hotel, and everyone was in a absolute fuss. They were just saying, "Oh, Mr. Donahoe, glad you're back. Glad you're back. There's been a horrible, horrible incident." And I'm like, "Oh my God, is everyone okay? Is someone I know hurt?" And they said, "No, this isn't your car, and it's been reported stolen." And I'm like, excuse me? Apparently, someone from the same place where I rented my Mustang had rented exactly the same style, shape, model of Mustang and was staying at the exact same hotel and had gone out for dinner, and they had switched the keys. I didn't know. I got in the Mustang. They look identical. They gave me the keys to it. So, yes, both vehicles were reported stolen. So both me and whoever else had the other Mustang were driving around in stolen Mustangs. So that was interesting. But anyway, everyone came back. Everything was good. Got my jacket back. And so after that, driving around in a stolen Mustang and then getting through LAX apparently with a large blade Swiss Army knife, that was an interesting little trip, but very successful. Nothing to do with internet marketing. I just thought I'd share some of the strangest stuff happens to me on these trips. So anyway, to tonight's session. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, if you were with us with the Social Rockstar webinar we did just before we left, which was last Friday, 7 days ago, I said I would cover some extra stuff in this one, a little more detail about how you can build followers, how you can get more fans on your Facebook pages. And I'm going to talk a little bit about content locking and then a little bit more about the flow of stuff. But before we get into that, I'm going to show you a sneak peek about a new tool that we are almost done with. I was working hard on this. I was hoping to have it done before I left, but I'm going to show you the new enhanced site builder. Now, if you've been with me since, for the last year and a half or so, since we launched Commission Commando, we had a very cool site builder on there that was able to do a lot of different things. Well, I have taken that entire concept a lot further now. I'm just going to come over here. Let me come over here. Do this. Actually, hold on. Let me do this because I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Okay. I'm going to show you, because I've got, as usual, I have a lot of tabs up. This is the new site builder that we've built for you guys. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to show you how to get a domain. We'll even have a domain suggestion tool in here. We're going to have a quick video about how to set up your hosting, the basics of setting up a host with an SQL database ready to be installed against. You know what? I'm sharing my screen, but it's paused. So let me do that. Can you see it now? You see the splash screen. Okay, well, thank you, guys. Okay, cool. I'm using a different version of GoToMeeting, and all the buttons have moved around. So, okay, so this is the new site builder. It's going to be built into the side of the inner circle. You're going to get access to this. And basically what it's going to be is it's going to be a simple 4-step process. Now, these are placeholders right now, but we're going to put in here so you can put in a keyword. It'll suggest a domain. Then you can set up your hosting. We'll have some easy stuff to set up your hosting, set up everything you need, and then you have the site builder. Now, we can call this the Rocket Site Builder because it's very, very fast. All you do, and it walks you through each step. Okay, what, for example, is your FTP host name, username? It gives you a little, you see these little tool tips, tells you a little bit about it. Plus, we will have a video at the top that walks you through every step. And it will have step 1, step 2, so you can click and review everything you want. Then it's going to say, okay, what do you want for your site name, your tagline? And I give little hints and tips about setting things up, how, what you kind of should do, what we recommend, and we'll do that in the video with it. And then you're going to put in some of your social media stuff if you want to. Some of these are optional items. So you can, obviously you've got your critical stuff like, okay, what's your connection information and your basic site information. And then you can go through and customize whatever you want, putting in your social accounts if you want to, for your policies, pages. And then we even have built-in content siloing, which we're going to have automatically configured. And that way it will set up your structure just right. Now, Jerry, yes, we are recording on 2 machines. So you're all good. So someone's asking, making sure we got a recording. Yes, we do. You're all good to go. So once you've done that, it'll basically, it also does error correction. So if I try and submit this right now, it's going to say, oh, this field is required, and it'll tell you if you're missing anything. And then it'll also say, hey, you need to verify and accept the terms of use. So basically, we're not responsible for any craziness that happens because of how you've used this tool. Basically, that's just me saying double check everything and understand that what's about to happen is likely about to delete everything in that folder, in that area. Better make sure you've got everything set up as you want it. And once you've done that, you would hit the, it'll say, yes, you're good to go, hit the next step, and then it will install a full clone of our site or our base site. Now, the base site is, just so you can see it, for the new members here, I'm going to go to imsctest.com/base, and we've been building a optimized, responsive, SEO-focused site. And it's not loading right now. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. This is our theme. This is the IMSE Flex theme. So it's already optimized. We'll have different home pages you can assign that you can delete. And there's all sorts of cool stuff with social following. And as I said, this is mobile ready. But we're also going to put fan gates in here. And maybe, if I can, a little extra stuff that we're going to show you here today. So if I go up here, for example, you can see that's switched to a mobile version of the theme automatically. And then you got the iPad version. You can see it switching everything there, calls to action, all optimized and ready to go for any market. So it will install a full clone of this ready to go. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about today, though, is getting more fans on Facebook and Twitter. Now, this is an interesting question. Jerry, no, this is not Flex Squeeze. I've called this IMSE Flex because it's a flexible theme with many, many options. Tell you what, guys, let me do this. How many people here have not seen IMSE Flex? Because we have a lot of new users, and we've talked about this over the last few weeks. Okay, lots of people have not seen this. Okay, guys, let me tell you this. This is something I'm exclusively giving to members of the Inner Circle. We might release this to the public. I don't know eventually, but honestly, I think I'm just going to keep it for members. Members only. Whoops, and I'll go to the right place. This is a theme that we are giving away. And what I will do, guys, is I'll give you a copy of this theme. You can use it anywhere. I'm going to split off the theme so that you can just use this theme anywhere. But what we're going to do is two things. We're going to give you a site cloner, which literally is build you a blank version of this site just like that. And then you can also use this theme in any way you choose as well. These are things that we do for the Inner Circle members, and we just basically give you all of my tools. That's basically what I do. Anything I build, anything I do for myself, if it's something I can give you, I absolutely do. That's just what we do here at the Inner Circle. So let me go to the admin. I just want to show you that this is like one of the most flexible page and site builders that you will ever see. Now, if I can remember my password over here, because I haven't. Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me try this. Because I'm on a different machine than I usually am, and all my passwords are saved in this system. By the way, this is called 1Password. It's a very, very cool system for pretty much any mobile device. Let me see if that's it. Nope. You can see I've got several versions here. Let me try the lower version. Nope. Okay. This is where I end up blocking myself. Okay, that's looking more positive. Okay, there we go. Got a few updates. Let me just apply those. I got lots of anti-spam. I've taken a long time to set this up as basically the ultimate configuration for WordPress. But let me just show you. Let me just go create a new post. So I'm going to add a new post. And what I want to show you is that I could create, we'll just call this IMC test post, for example. Now we've got lots of other widgets and cool stuff over here. I'm not going to really go through a lot of that right now, but what you can see down here is that we have all sorts of options to build the page. Now what I'm going to do is let me go, what's the best way to do this? I forgot, I've turned some of these settings off. Let me go over to Appearance, Theme Options. And there's all sorts of things you can do to set up. Now this is literally a drag and drop interface. And I can change the skin colors, I can change all the coloration, the elements. For example, here's a template. And I can say, okay, single post, do I want to allow different setups, configurations for archive pages? Can I go ahead and change like the elements within like post titles, breadcrumbs? Do I want all sorts of different formats? So I can set up anything I want. And then if I want to, I can go ahead and do, I'll just show you another couple of things here. This is for the drag and drop elements. I can have all of these items literally within a page. Now if I go over here, and I guess I have to go over here. I'm wondering if one of the... Oh, no, this is the wrong bloody site. Okay. Let me go over to this one and actually go to the pages. Let me go just to add a new page and pull it up. There we go. Okay. So now what I can do is you can see I've got all these elements here. So this is, say I wanted to create a squeeze page. Well, I'll make it full width. And then if I want different elements, maybe I want a HTML box, I want a slider or a portfolio or just a couple of boxes. I can literally move things around and drag and drop elements. I can build a really custom page just by dragging and dropping things right onto this page. So for example, if I do this one, I'll just do page with boxes and HTML box. What will happen, you'll see up here, is that I've got, well, here, I've got new options. I can set my own slider. I can set my own little excerpt and call out for, I'll just put some HTML here as an example. And then if I want boxes, and these are basically content boxes with different content and widgets in, I can set up, you'll see all these new ones here, like carousel, portfolio, sliders, boxes. I can set up my own custom ones and then assign them to this page as well. I can build up any type of page I want. Now again, you guys get all of this as part of it. Just to show you, this is a slider. You can see I've got the, whoops, I clicked the wrong option. So I can click here and then see slide between the different items. This is an HTML call out box, so that's like a call to action. This is that's not the carousel, that's the portfolio. This is like the boxes here, and then I've got the different options here for like call outs and any other items. There's the carousel, which again, if I get this shrunk down, you can see this is a carousel, and you can automatically slide between everything there as you see fit. So it's responsive. It pretty much does everything. But yeah, again, I'm giving you guys all of this. You can use this as you see fit. Like I said, I'm hoping to have the full site builder that has all of this configured, set up with, well, the plan is it's going to have a fan gate that you can instantly set up. It's going to have a squeeze page that you can customize to do whatever you want. It'll have all the thank you pages and what have you, but it's going to set up a basic framework that you can then customize to do whatever you want with. But I'm going to try and do as much as the basics as possible so that when you install this, it's a case of you just drag and drop a few items, change the logos, change the color, and off you go. I want to make it as simple as possible. It's my gift to you as Inner Circle member. So that's part of what this is doing. So anyway, what I want to talk about though today is building up fans and followers. I want to talk about a thing called social lockers. Now, take a look at this. You can see this page right now. In fact, I want to make sure I'm on the right page. Okay, good. And you can see right now, I've got a nice little page there with a nice piece of content, okay? However, when a new customer comes to your page, watch what happens. This content is locked. I give a nice introduction. Basically, I'm going to tell them, a little bit of information, but I say this content is locked. Please, supporters, use one of these buttons to unlock the content. So tweet it, like it, Google Plus One it, share it, and boom. What happened? Well, after a few seconds, and you can set a timer on this, it will show the content. It's kind of like it's one of those, I call it holding your content hostage. So what happens is, for 20 seconds, we just encourage them to share, and then we'll show them the full content. And I'm using a plugin called Social Locker. I'm actually building my own version of this, but if you want to grab it right now, you can go to this link here. You just put Social Locker for WordPress into codecanyon.net, and I'm going to give you a link to it anyway. Not an affiliate link. Everything I give you in here is, unless specified, a straight and direct link. And it's very, very powerful. All you do is wrap your content in a shortcode. And that's it. That's the content that's hidden until viewed. Now I'm going to show you this right now. I created one over here, and this is just a simple plugin that you lock or you buy, but you just install this, set it up, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to give you a preview here. See, this is a preview, and you've got several different themes. I'm going to do the starter one just to show you, and it does just this. Hey, this content is locked. Click here to show it, or wait for X seconds, and you can set up your own different timers for different things. And off it goes. Now it's mobile friendly. If I refresh this real quick, watch this. And I'll pull this up and shrink it down. And you can see it is mobile friendly. It's ready to go. And this is a theme that's called Aris. And we use this a lot in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different places. It's a very cool thing, easy to set up and work with. Now, again, the timer ran out, so it disappeared. So if I come over here and I'll set up another one real quick, I'm going to change it around. The other one I like is the secrets one, which if I do that, you can see here, if I roll over it, it just has a little animation of it popping out. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And the other one is a glass one. And you can see if I scroll down here, it just wraps it in a nice little box that disappears after a few seconds. And you can set up any one you want. For example, I could turn off the LinkedIn one. I could turn off the share one. Okay, if I want more focus on Google Plus, maybe I'll do that and switch it around that way. You can also, if you're using a membership site, if anyone's logged in, you can turn it off so that they never see it. You can also make it work for your RSS as well, which is pretty cool. I actually like that. So once that's done, you can change any messages. So I'll say, want to read more? It's easy. Just share to unlock. Something like that. Maybe I don't, I'll take this out or add something different there. I don't know. But if we update it, and then, yeah, actually, it's just defaulted back to that. That's fine. And let me change it to, in this case, I'll change it back to secrets. And it's cool. There you go. Boom, done. Actually, that's a bit narrow, so I need to take out a little bit of text. Want to read more? just share to unlock. There we go. We'll do that. Now, what happens is if you've got a really good, compelling reason for this reader to start reading your content or doing anything, they're going to click on this just to clear it. Now, they might also just go away. You're going to have to split test it. But the cool thing with a lot of these type of plugins is they actually give you usage statistics so you can see what's going on. So you can see, and I only installed this a few minutes ago on this site for the demo, but you can say, oh, Facebook likes, Twitter, tweets and plus oneers. You can get a nice diagram about activity where you've actually used this. So how many have been revealed by timer? In other words, how many people have let this run out before they do it? So you don't want to annoy too many visitors, but it's a great way to incentivize sharing. Now, another thing you can do is also behind that is then give them an opportunity to download a free report. Unlock the content and download your free report. And then what you do at the bottom of every article is have download your free report, give us your email. It's a great little incentive. Say share this, not only unlock the content, but get $97 worth of free training about how to do X. Sounds like a good incentive to me. They share, they read the rest of the article, then at the bottom you've got your call to action, which you've already primed them for, because now they're action takers, they're already on a positive path to action. And when they see that little incentive, hey, download your free report, where do we send it? Boom, done. It's as simple as that. So that can work very, very well to boost your social following, your fans, and everything else. Very simple to install, and there's a couple of different ones out there. I mean, this is what I'm showing you right now is this Social Locker, but there's another one I've used, which is basically, I'll do a live preview of this one. It's the same kind of idea. It says, okay, unlock premium content, just do this to unlock it. Done deal, and it works with the shortcode. I personally like this one better. It's a little bit more stylized, but there's a few different options out there for when you're doing this kind of thing. Now, Emily's asking, does Content Locker work with each article, or is it once per visit? It's basically every time. So it's every article every time, but if they've shared, it drops a cookie on their machine that they've already been viral and social, and then it never shows for them again. Can the timer be turned off? In this particular one, yes, you can. You can, if I come over here, you can turn any of these features on or off. For example, I could turn on Ajax. The one thing with this is that it hides the content from the source code. Not a good idea if you want to use SEO. So if you want to turn off the timer, just set it to 0. If you want to have a close icon, which allows them to bypass it immediately, absolutely. That's like, click here and skip it. If you want to have the what's called the highlight feature, which means as the timer runs out or they share it, there's a little highlight fade between turning off the social blocks and then showing the content. But it's little things like that. So yeah, lots of options. Excuse me, hiccups. And very easy to set up. Now, I didn't share this, but you can see very quickly, and there's the little close button if I wanted it to, so people can bypass it right away. Might be a good option. And then what you do is you just put or click the close button to skip. And then they have to find it. They're much more likely to do that, but it's a less annoying way to do it. You don't want to put an inhibitor in the way of visitors unless you give them a good reason to act. So you can maybe change the wording to be a little less, like unlock. Hey, help us help you. Share this content now. Unlock it and download your free copy of X. Or you could use it as a great little lead-in. Now, this is a reverse psychology method. Say, for example, you're giving away 10 super tips to I don't know, let's use dogs as an example. Potty train your puppy. You know, to unlock these secrets, just share this content. So you've already told them it's kind of top secret, which lends to the security, the top secret, the lockdown. Hey, this is super secret. And then, boom, off you go. Another method of this, and if I switch over to the chalkboard here, this is another way I've done this before, is I like to drive people through pay traffic or any other type of traffic to a page like this. And then what I'll do is I will have it almost like a squeeze page. I want to get them to commit first. Now, what I might have done is taken them to a squeeze page, and then I like to give them basically kind of like another freebie. Now, if they've come to this offer and they've signed up for something for free, because usually that's what you do on a squeeze page, give them a reason. It's like, hey, before you know, this becomes your thank you page, and then we're going to call this other one the download page. Okay, usually when they've confirmed, if you're doing double opt-in or there's some page you're going to drive them to once they've signed up, once you've got their email, you're kind of having like a little bit of a one-time offer here. And I used the locker on this, and it's basically a way to get everyone, because sometimes it's more, well, in many ways it's more important to get an email first. So you might put them through a squeeze page, then you send them to this page with a locker on it, and you say, hey, extra freebie, just tell your friends. So in this case, what I've done is I've already got their information using a squeeze page or Facebook Connect, and then say, hey, would you like this extra bonus just for sharing? And then all you do is behind the locker, you put a download link for something extra. Or, you know, it's just once you've got that, then now get your other one, you could do them there. Or what you could do is skip this one altogether and put the download under the social share, so that to get both downloads or their original downloads, hey, to unlock your download, there's one last thing you've got to share. Boom. And then what happens is the link they share, and you can configure this, allows them to tell everyone and sends other people to your squeeze page. So basically, when I'm pumping paid traffic into the squeeze page, I might get an echo effect where, because I've set this viral, if they're connected, I might get 2 leads for the price of 1. And that can work out very well indeed. And it's very easy to do. Let me just show you an example here. Say, for example, let me go over here. I'll say add a new page, and I'm just going to do a quick fake one real quick. So this could be the thank you page that you would use as the thank you. Access your downloads. And then what I'll do is something like, I'm going to make something up here. So I'll just say, awesome, here are your downloads, and then something like, but we have a super special unannounced bonus to unlock your download, and say the top, okay, let's do it, secret bonus report, just share this page with your friends right now. And then you would have your social locker right here. Now let me just go create. This is what I mean by you can create custom ones here. So I'm going to add a new one. So it's just going to be a custom one for this page, and I'll call it the super secret download. And then I'll just say, just share to unlock 197, if that was the value of my stuff. Unlock your 97 dog training report and bonus $97 software, whatever it is, dog training software, I don't know. But then you'd have some more description in here. The cool thing is that with all of these, you can see I can set up a tweet, like, all this. And then what I'll do is, instead of being to the current location, I'll say my site.com/wherever the squeeze page is. So they don't share the current page, they share your squeeze page. And then I just downloaded an amazing report that is going to help me train my dog in under 24 hours. You should get this too. As if they're talking, obviously. And then it'll include the link. And then if you want to use a counter or something like that. So again, I could set that up, and then if I want the button title to change, or if I want to now set this up to be the like one, again, I'll set that up as the squeeze page, and the same with the Google Plus One. Usually with Google Plus One, you can also set, it will pull it from the meta description, so you might want your call to action in your meta description for your squeeze page, but that's it. Now I'll just go ahead and save this real quick. So I'm going to create this, and then I'm going to go get my actual, go to this page that I'm creating here, and then I'll just say, okay, download report 1, download bonus report here, and then I'm just going to link these to wherever they would be. So let me just fake it here. So my site.com report.zip or .pdf, whatever it would be, and then do the same here. Just like this. I'm obviously not doing a lot of design here, but let me just go ahead and publish this, because I haven't published this before this content updater is ready. So now what I'll do is, now I'm going to wrap this with the social content. You see, super secret download, the new locker is there. And then I just have to move the other end of this shortcode, because you have to wrap it. So then we can do that. And then paste that on the end. Actually, let me just do this. I'm so used to the Mac, I'm using the wrong copy and paste. And then, well, update it. So you can see right there. Here are your awesome downloads, and here's the thing about sharing it. Now, I didn't set a theme on this one, so let me just go ahead and actually change it from the default to, say, the secrets one. Just like that. Update that. Close these pages because I set that up. So there we go, and that's how they download it. Boom, 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 and then they activate their links. That is a very, very simple way. And obviously, you'd want to customize this page. You would want it, if I come over here, just for what we're doing here to kind of finish it up, I would want that full width page. I would not want comments on this page. So you can, I'll just make sure I've got discussions turned on. Okay, I do. So I would want to turn off comments. And good to go. Or I would have a template without all this other jubbery on it. But you get the idea. And very, very simple. And boom, boom, boom. The thing is, you're going to start getting lots of thanks, lots of likes, and really start kicking butt. And that is very, very simple and very, very powerful. And on a busy blog or even a medium blog, you'll start getting followers and fans almost immediately. All you have to do is add a little incentive. And if you get people on that positive power path, or the positive performance path, as we've called it in the past, then absolutely you can have all sorts of magical things happening. Now, there's a lot of questions. People are asking a couple of things. When will you be coming out with a similar plugin? As soon as my programmers finish the one I've already told them to build. We're adding this into a lot of different things, but once that one is done, we'll be giving that away to all Inner Circle members absolutely free. You'll be getting your hands on that ASAP, okay? Do you get the shared email from the locker? That's a good question, Lewis. No, it's not like Facebook Connect. So that's why I like to do the email afterwards. Sorry, the email first through either a Facebook Connect or a standard squeeze page, because obviously you're going to want to tell them you're double opting in. You want to make sure you check your email. We've talked about a system using Facebook Connect in the past, which allows you to get their real email from Facebook as long if they're hooked in with Facebook. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but there's a gentleman called John Leonard who's coming out with a plugin next Friday, which is the upgraded version of Facebook Connect we've talked about in previous Ask Sean sessions. Added a few extra bells and whistles, and I'm trying to get private label rights to that plugin for a fee. When I do this, it usually costs me many, many hundreds of dollars. If I can get that, I'll be giving that to members for free as well. Okay. Now, I might sell that to the public. You guys will get it absolutely free. So, just to give you a heads up on that. The other reason I want to get a copy of this, I get a free copy of that anyway, because a lot of these developers and experts, they always give me the free stuff and free samples. It's funny. It's like going to one of these award ceremonies when they walk out with like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of like goodies and gifts and jewelry. Except for me, it's plugin software and training resources, so I always get to be on the cutting edge of everything. So it's always cool when I get there, but when I scope out something I really like, I always try and buy a copy that has private label rights so that I can give it away to you guys as members. So that's always very cool. Now, that being said, I'm also working on a new webinar series I want to tell you guys about. It's some of you guys may have heard of, and we've got a lot of new members in here, but we've got a webinar series called the Constant Income Formula. I'm going to be redoing that or reworking that based on some new strategies. What I'm going to try and do is basically easy put together membership sites. But there's a new thing I've come across that I'm going to mention to you guys, and I'm playing with it right now. It's the new Kindle paid blogging system. Has anyone heard of this yet? The new Kindle paid subscriber-based blogs, where basically you can take your entire blog and put it on Amazon Kindle and charge $1 or $10 a month. Now, here's the cool thing. Okay, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I'm in a sharing mood, as I actually, funnily enough, tend to be. Let me close all these tabs down. I'm going to give you a sneak peek on something that I think is going to be, it's in beta, which means no one, barely anyone knows about this yet, okay? But I get access to it, like I say, all the cool stuff. Watch this. Okay, so if I go to Amazon, now I've got to log in here, so let me just do this. Kindle. I have to remember the URL because I was doing this on the other computer. Desktop publishing.amazon.com. Okay, no, I guess that's not. It's KDP, but let me try KDP.amazon.com. Okay. Now if I log in here, I don't know if this is the right one. Okay, well, I know I was logged in here, but this is... Oh, my good grief, it may be hidden. It may still be hidden. And I know this isn't my regular Kindle account because I've got lots and lots of other books that I do under all the different things. But I know I did it under this account. Okay, well, here's the skinny. I might cover this next week, okay? Here's the inside scoop. Basically, what you can do is you can take a blog, okay? And let me just change the font size here so we can actually read this. And okay, so you can take a blog, okay? Any blog you like. You know what? Let me do this a second. This will actually make life a little bit easier. Let me get my scratch pad up. I've got a cool little scratch pad I use for this kind of thing. And you're right, it's Kindle Direct Publishing. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Okay, let me get my little scratch pad up here. I'm thinking of desktop publishing because that's what we do in the print industry. My brain's all over the place. So, okay, you can take a blog, any blog you like, okay? And what happens is you can then take this, send it out to Google, to Kindle, and what they do is they basically handle all the payments. Now, think about this for a second. You set up a blog. It could be from my blog builder or anything like that, okay? So it works via RSS. It basically takes your RSS feed, you put a nice little bit of graphics with it, so you got a header and a splash screen. They do all the advertising. You put in the content. That's all you need to worry about is publish whatever it is, new content, as you see fit. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, so okay, there we go. So you just publish new content as you see fit every few days or every couple of times a week, so you build up with content. But they basically handle it like it's a micro membership site with subscribers. It's like publishing your own magazine. Now, we talked about this strategy using mobile apps and stuff like that, but this is an enhancement of that. And like I say, it's in closed beta right now. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I think it's going to be literally lightning fast. You drag and drop, create an incredible little setup. It goes straight to Kindle. If you've got high quality content, you're literally publishing your own instant magazine, and it gets sent out and is accessible by everyone out there. Literally, you could be tapping in to incredible amounts if you have something that's of use to all of those different subscribers as you see fit. There could be literally, there's millions of people with Kindle. So if you find a keyword, you don't have to write a book now to be published on Kindle. Now, I'm going to do this as part of either as part of the new constant income formula, or I might focus on this solely as a method by taking a blog. To hell with Google, to hell with penguins, pandas, zebras, or whatever else they've got out there, but literally using a high authority blog or a high quality content blog and then pushing it out to Google Play as an app, putting it on Kindle as a paid blog system, like a paid magazine, and rock and roll from there. Now, again, I'm experimenting with this right now. I literally only discovered this or got wind of this from one of my contacts inside Amazon, who keeps me abreast of all the cool stuff they're doing. He's very, very high up in the Google chain, in the Amazon chain. He actually used to work for Google, which is why I keep saying Google. But they snatched him from Google, but I knew him when he was at Google. And he gave me the inside scope on this and said, Sean, you want to check this out. And as you guys know about me, I've always got my fingers on the pulse of everything. So to me, that is a hell of an idea and got a lot of potential. So I'm experimenting with this right now. I've put my own blog up there, and I'm seeing there's very, very few people doing this right now. I looked at the entire list of people who are doing this in this closed beta. Very, very few. So it's an untapped stream of income. It's an untapped. It's literally insane, the potential. So what I'll do next week is show you a little more about that, show you how my experiments are proceeding, what's being done, and how you can profit from this. And because of this, I'm also putting elements inside the new site builder that will optimize it for that platform for you. Okay, not going to take much to do it, but I want to make sure that not only are we mobile friendly, but also Kindle friendly. And that, my friends, is huge. So lots of stuff going on for Inner Circle members, but what I'm going to do now is go over to live questions. Now, let's see. Jerry's asking, is this scratch pad thing I'm doing part of CS6? No, this is okay. I'm gonna share with my little Photoshop secrets here. This is basically just a I call it a scratch pad because it's something we use in doing like desktop design and stuff like that. What I did is I just grabbed a page full of icons from Icon Finder, and what I do is I have it on the other screen because I have multiple screens, as you guys know. And then what I do is I'll just control click on the element I want. Like if I wanted to do the page or say this search thing, I just hold the control key down, click on it, so I know I've now selected that one, and now I can just drag and drop it. Now they're transparent PNGs because they're icons. So when I'm doing these cool diagrams, I can literally drag and drop all of this cool stuff on here. So I could do, say, this. I've got one, let's see, what else? The light bulb. I'll grab the light bulb and drop it on here. And then what I did is I just resized it. And, you know, I can do anything like that. If I grab, say I wanted to I'll click on this, and now I can drag it. And then if I want to resize that, again, I can do anything I want there. But the problem is my mouse is a wee bit sensitive. So usually this is over here. You can't see it. And I can do, you know, drag and drop whatever I want to do. And just because I'm really quick in Photoshop, I can scale things up and that. So that's to answer that question. But let's go over to the live questions. So what we'll do is, what you should do for new members, you'll see your names with a little hand symbol. What I'm going to do first of all, guys, is I'm going to lower everyone's hand. Now, if you've got a question and you've got a microphone, and preferably a headset, because sometimes we get a lot of echo, and I really do need, if you guys want to ask a question, you really do need a headset because the echo can get really bad, and if that happens, I do have to mute some people. But I'd love to find out what your questions are and give you an answer to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan up and down. Put your hand up if you've got a question. First person is Jerry, so that I stop. So go ahead, Jerry.
John.
How you doing, sir?
Hope you enjoyed your trip down there, and hope it dried out before you got there.
It did indeed. Yeah, you got a point there. There was flooding in San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, but apparently no, it's all gone. Didn't see a thing.
Great. Listen, I was referring to the chalkboard PSD.
Oh, no, that's honestly, this is just a black canvas with, which is basically just a new document. I'll show you how to do it real quick. If you ever want to do this, guys, this is very, very simple. Just a new document, and it's got a black background. This is great for presentations because you don't have to have all the fancy Photoshop or anything like that. I just do a full screen canvas, just like that. And I'm going to pull this in so you can see the layers. if you've got Photoshop. You can do this in any graphics program. I'm just doing it in Photoshop because that's what I use every day. And then I've just got a white pen. I just select the brush. And then I might say, okay, what hardness and size I want, maybe about 6 pixels. And then how do I want the flow and stuff like that, and pen pressure. And then all I do is draw on. And I'm using a graphics tablet. Okay, I'm not an artist. And honestly, there you go, self-portrait. Except this is more like a Van Gogh apparently, because the ears are all off. There you go. But yeah, yeah, and that's basically it. And you can draw and draw diagrams, and talk about Facebook or what have you. And that's basically what I do. And I use a cheap. Well, it wasn't cheap when I got it, but you can get a cheap tablet from Best Buy. The Bamboo is pretty good. It's made by a company called Wacom. You can use that, or the other one I've got right next to me is it's like the granddaddy. It's the Mercedes one. It's called a Cintiq, and that's a screen you can actually draw on, but it's 24 inches. Those run about $2,000. But yeah, this one
out of my price range.
Yeah, I was going to say the Wacom Bamboo is only about $50, and that's just a graphics tablet. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you've got the hang of it, perfect.
And that comes with the pen.
And that's what you heard me just drop was the pen, and it's just a little pressure sensitive pen. It runs on this graphics tablet, and yeah, you can do all this cool stuff.
Okay, got one other question.
Sure.
Through the years, I seem to have gotten on a lot of your different email lists. I said, well, let me see what happens if I try to take myself off this one. And I clicked on, unsubscribe, and it told me, whoa, you unsubscribed. You cannot go to the webinar.
Now you might have unsubscribed from the GoToWebinar one.
Okay.
If that's the case, well, you're here, so...
I backed out of it real quick.
Okay. Here's the... what I've done is, because we've got so many new members, I want to make sure that everyone is able to get to the Ask Sean sessions. So what I did is I send out a few notices directly from GoToWebinar. So if it's an official GoToWebinar one, don't unsubscribe, because I send it out from the same list. But if you're on multiple ones of my Aweber lists, you can unsubscribe from some or what have you, because what happens is a lot of people get on a lot of different lists. I run multiple lists. I've got about 80 or 90 email lists. So for the guys who've been with me the longest, they do tend to end up on multiple lists. So just pick and choose which ones you don't want to be on. Like if it's an update list for a plugin that you've got, then maybe you don't need to be on that one because you're on the main list. You're in the members list. Okay, fine. You should get everything sorted out. So you can do all sorts of things like that.
What do you call your main list when you hit the unsubscribe button?
Honestly, I've got about 10 main lists. So I would say for you, there's one called IM Accelerate, and that would be the main one because that's the main members list. So if you want to, you can unsubscribe from the other ones.
Yeah, some of them are repetitious,
Well, it does get it gets your attention if you've got 20 emails, but that's not my intent. I only want you to get one email. So if you see an Aweber one, and this is the same for everyone, guys, the IM Accelerate, it doesn't have the E on the end because Aweber wouldn't let me continue. That's the main members one, and that's going to be your best one to stay on.
Okay. I was just curious because, I can go down and, just count the Seans every day.
Well, you've been with me for so long, you're probably on every list, so that makes a difference.
Thank you, sir, and glad you had a good time on your vacation.
Thank you very much, Jerry. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see who is up next. Scanning up and down the list. Let me go to Don. Don, go ahead, sir. What's your question this evening, and how can I help you?
I was curious on that site builder thing. I was playing with that duplicator one you gave out earlier.
Uh-huh.
Is that theme updating, or do I have to get it a different way to see what's been added to it since last?
There's a few extra things been added to it, but I haven't updated that version yet, honestly, because there's so much. I don't want to give out a half-assed version. So that will be coming very soon.
Okay, I didn't know if it was updating or if I had to look for the new one.
No, I've added a lot of extra plugins, so no, it will not be updating yet.
Okay. Well, that was my main question. And I hope you had a good time. Hope Tammy did too. So.
Outside of avoiding cavity searches and stolen cars, we had a great time, and I mean, honestly, I can't wait to go back. That is an amazing place. So thanks very much, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. Have a good one.
Okay, and let's see who else we got here. Couple of new faces. So I'm going to let's go with Steve Johnson. Steve, go ahead. Sir, what is your question this evening, and how can I help you?
Hey, Sean, how you doing tonight?
Doing great.
Listen, back about a few weeks ago, you had you did an Ask Sean session about Facebook, and you had your FanGate plugin, which I think is absolutely awesome. It's a simple and very effective plugin. But you also recommended another one called FB List Press, which I bought. And I know you don't support it, and you said it in the webinar, and I'm not going to ask for support, but have you been having any problems with that? I've tried it on 2 different sites and tried to hook, and I've followed the instructions everywhere that I could get them. I can't get it it will not load the page at the end.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, I've seen that happen, and I've spoken to the developer, John Leonard, about it.
Okay.
He said and that's the one I was mentioning earlier on that's going to be released next Friday.
Okay.
He's doing a major update for it and a new version of it.
Oh, fantastic.
That's the one I'm trying to get for everyone. So, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen it works sometimes, but there's a couple of weird plugin things that it doesn't like. And it seems to be dependent on the theme. I haven't nailed down what exactly it is, but he is meant to be updating it for everyone.
I actually disconnected. I deactivated all the plugins except for FanGate and that one, and then I used the stock themes from WordPress, and it still wouldn't do it. So I'm glad to hear there's an update. That's going to make my life a lot easier, because we did a Facebook campaign, got 5,700 likes in 60 hours. So we felt we felt we might have hit on something that was going to work for us. And
now, here's a question for you, if you don't mind sharing.
Absolutely.
How much did you spend to get those?
4 cents. 4 cents a piece.
You see, that is not bad, guys. 4 cents for each fan, targeted, I assume, to a certain niche.
Very targeted.
Love that. Love that. That's not bad at all.
Good.
Now, again, that's a bit of an ad spend, guys, but that is a lot of people you can build up a lot of relationships with very fast. Now, did you put it straight to a FanGate, or did you put them through just straight to Facebook page?
We went straight to the Facebook page, and I think it kind of shocked us because we didn't know it was going to. We were doing 100 an hour, and it was just it started to blow our minds, and at that point we said, okay, now we got to put this all together. Nice. We just didn't expect it to happen quickly, and we turned it on again.
You're breaking up a little bit there, Steve. Sorry.
And
okay, you broke up. You broke up a lot at the end there. I'm sorry.
All the ducks.
Bugger. I think we lost him. There was some good information there. I'm going to have to mute you, Steve, because you really broke up there at the end. But I'll tell you what. If you don't mind, I'll come back to you in a few minutes, because I'd love to share some of your experience there, because that's some great results. And I'm sure there's a couple of people who have some further questions for you as well. So what I'm going to do is let me go to Ed, and we'll see if we can come back to Steve in just a moment, because that was very, very interesting stuff. So Ed, go ahead, sir. What's your question this evening, and how can we help
How
you?
you doing?
Doing great.
Good, good. Hey, I'm new to all this. I started out about a year ago. Didn't work out very well. And then I found your programs, Extreme Niche, and it got me on the right path at least. So
Excellent.
I'm happy about that. But I'm wondering, on your new site builder, are you able to like take the site I have right now, WordPress, and transfer that, almost like copy it over into the new one, like you can do with some templates, or no?
You will be able to, but here's the thing. I'm going to give you the option of doing a complete... The site builder is really for fresh installs.
Okay.
However, what I'm going to do is a download pack of the plugin pack and the theme that you can then apply to an existing site. Now, the site builder will not be able to do that for you, but what I will do is, okay, here's the theme, here's the plugins, here's how you set it up on an existing site.
Oh,
So there's going to be
fantastic.
2 parts to that.
Okay. All right. And I got a part 2 here. I'm having a problem, and I'm hopefully I cannot get my pull downs to actually create. So all I can do is have single, like whatever the name of the on a navigation bar is, if you want to call it, doesn't matter what the theme or the title is. I can't make pull downs, and I've asked people who I've bought programs from for learning how to do WordPress and all this other kind of stuff. No one's got an answer. Only that either one, the site won't allow it, and that's actually been the main thing. Is there something that I'm doing wrong? It seems like I've set it up right. It just will not function as far as creating pull downs.
That's an interesting question. There's 2 layers to this, if you pardon the pun. There's one is that if the theme allows it, because some themes are not coded for that, but most are these days. So it might also be the hierarchy you're using. Now let me show you an example. If I come over to Dog's Day magazine here, which is the demo site I use a lot for demonstrating this kind of stuff, but you'll see I've got a couple of like menus here, but none of them have drop downs right now. So what I'm going to do real quick is if I go into the admin panel, oh, I should have gone to menus as it's right there. What I'll do is I'll create a quick sub menu, and then you can check to make sure you're doing this part of it. Let me stop that and try and go, whoops, bugger. Let me try this. But what you can do is, as long as you can drag, it again, depends on the theme, check that you've got your menu set up this way. But if I say, for example, I've got this marketplace one, I'm going to make it a sub of, say, the blog one, okay, like that. And you see how it's indented?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing that right now?
Yep, I've got that done, and I've had a couple guys look at it. They can't understand why. I'm using the light version from Extreme Niche, so I'm using that.
Now in that case, that might be the theme that's causing the problem. I
Okay.
can't say for certain, but I think that is the theme that's causing that, because the light version, I think he turned off a couple of options like that.
Okay.
I might be wrong. However, there was... No, I'm trying to think if I have any themes there. Tell you what. Do me a favor, and in the questions box, give me your URL and your admin name and password real quick. Because there's one thing with that. If you can't, fine. But there is a couple of, if not, look in the options for that theme, and there is a couple of options to make sure that it activates these things here, these custom menus.
Okay.
And then you can make sure that you're getting your menu set up right, and that might be part of the problem.
And where do you want me to send it to? I'm sorry. Where do you want me to send this to?
If you use the questions part of this, GoToWebinar screen, you can have
Oh,
you
yeah.
can have a look at that. But then again, the other flip side is if you want to, you can swap it over with the IMSC Flex theme when it comes out and not worry about it at all.
That's what I probably will wait and do. Sounds like
Okay, then.
I'll send it over to you anyway so you can look at it, because I tell you, I think I got a great site here, like everybody does. But I just, it's just starting to do a little things happening with it. I'm getting some visitors finally and like that. But it's taking me a little bit of time here. But yeah, let me send it over to you, and I appreciate your help on this. Great, thank you.
I'll take a wee look and see what we can do. Okay, cool. What I'll do then is let me lower or mute Ed for a second while he types that in, and then let me go back to Steve real quick, see if we can bring him back in. Steve, you still there, sir? Well, let me just see. Okay, let me try that. I can't unmute you. That's unusual. Okay, it must be a connection problem, Steve. Okay, your audio is up and down. Okay, let's try that. Steve, you there, sir?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, we lost you at the end there. I don't know if you heard what I was saying there, but what niche are you in with your Facebook campaign? If you don't mind me asking, just a general idea of that, because I'm sure a few people are asking, okay, what did he do that?
It was a pet niche.
Interesting. Very, very cool. And you got, did you say 5,700 or 57,000 likes?
No, 5,700, and we were putting up another ad today, and we drilled down to a couple of other different areas, and in 2 hours we had 600 more come in, and we really didn't have the system set up the way we wanted it, so it was an accident that it even got turned on. So.
Oh, believe me, I've had many happy accidents that has given me a pleasant surprise before, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Well, that's very, very cool, and congratulations on that. And yeah, get your funnel set up, and then I would split test between your page and then your funnel, obviously, as well, and then start building a good relationship with those folks, and well, have some fun.
Great. Thanks.
So, yeah.
And listen, Sean, I have to thank you, because if it wasn't for your tutelage, I don't think I'd be anywhere near where I am right now. So I really do appreciate everything that you do.
Well, I'm glad that we've had a hand in your success. That's always good to hear. Thank you very much.
All right.
Awesome stuff. And again, guys, that just goes to show you don't have to. You just got to take action. You've got a good path. You've got a good feeling, and like Steve said there, that's got turned on by accident, and he had massive results from that. That's pretty much blown him away. He's like, oh, got to turn off that spigot. Now let me get everything set up. So I know I can drive that traffic where I want it. And yeah, that's pretty damn good. Very impressive. I like hearing things like that. Okay, let me go to the other end of the alphabet and see how Wayne's doing. Go ahead, Wayne. How you doing, sir? What can I do for you this evening?
Good, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
You were talking content lockers earlier, and it kind of it's just amazing, because sometimes the things you talk about are some of the things I want to dig into, and all of a sudden, boom, there's an Ask Sean session, and that's what you go over. It's just amazing. One of the things I was asking, first of all, is you can buy your own content locker off of ClickBank, and Content Locker Pro is one of the ones that pop up with good ratings, I guess. Does it work well, or are you familiar with it, or should you buy?
They all do basically the same damn thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just basically tying into the buttons that already exist, and then it, without getting all geeky, it ties an event which says to the current page, now show the content underneath. So there's not really any major advantage with any particular one. It's just, do you like the way they do it? Is it easy to use? And is there any cool little feature that will stand it aside from everything else? It's one of the reasons I like the one I showed tonight, because it had the timer feature, the close feature, and a couple of other little things. But yeah, in general, they all do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter what you one over the other. It's just, okay, is it going to do exactly what I want it to do? Yes or no, go for it.
All right, and that leads me to my next question is, I'm getting into CPA, offers and stuff now, and I want to unlock, whether it be a video content like you talked about earlier, or even downloads to, music or other videos or stuff like that. And so, which is a huge market, which I didn't even know it was so big, but apparently it's a huge market. And how, first of all, my first question is, how do they determine whether or not it's an incentive or not? I know that sounds like a simple question, like if you give them something, yes, and it's an incentive. But if you're giving them a blog post or something, isn't that considered the same thing, whether it's a download or whether it's just, writing on your blog?
You see, that's a very good question. No, you're not giving them an incentive in that case. But if you're doing like content, then no. If you're doing a download or a free PDF or a free extra report, that is the kind of gray line there, because that is considered then to be an incentive. You're giving them something that is non-standard. Content on a page is not part of that equation. But I've got into this argument before with some of the really big affiliates at some of the largest CPA networks, and that's how they really determine it. They really say, okay, the bottom line is X. If you're giving them anything they can download, access, or is extra value on top of the offer, then that's an incentive. Anything that leads them up before they take action, that is just getting them to click. If you gave them a report away, for example, that then warmed them up to take action, that's not an incentive. That's a pre-sales. So you've just got to think about it. Okay, am I adding to the value of the offer, or am I pre-selling? And if you're pre-selling, you're okay. If you're adding to the existing offer, in other words, hey, if you buy through my link, I'm going to give you this report as well, that's an incentive. Okay. And that's really how they see it.
Well, what I'm leaning towards is the, quick surveys of, companies and stuff, something quick and easy. CPA Lead has a built-in, content locker that you can use for free. But it's just horrible. It's trash because it sends you to 18 million different places, and it really never unlocks the content.
Yep, and it is horrible, and you end up losing more money than anything else.
Yeah. So I figured if you bought a content locker and got a CPA offer from another place, that was, if it's just what it says it is, fill out these 3 questions or 10 questions and unlock it, then that works great. But a lot of these people, especially in the CPA market, tend to mislead the customer and misdirect the customer into a whirlwind of something that's just a headache, and you don't want to do that. So I want to create a site that is clean cut. It is what it says it is, and you will get the download for that.
Then in that case, that is not incentive. That's, I see where you're going with that. You would be you'd have to speak to the affiliate manager for each offer, because they're going to have a very open interpretation about whether you're incentivizing or not. So you're going to be on a very fine line, and I would say if you're putting any paid traffic into that, you're going to have affiliates that are going to turn around, the program managers that are going to say, you know what, you're incentivizing them because you're giving them, say, a free download of a movie or music or what have you. If you're legally doing that, then that's an incentive because you're putting their offer with a reward for their action. And
Right.
that's where they lean is. When you're dealing with CPA, here's the thing. CPA can be very, very lucrative, but a lot of the offers are run by people who don't give a damn about you or your commissions, and if they can find a way to not pay you your commissions, they make more money. Which is stupid, because if you're delivering them a lot of conversions, you would think they would want to keep you sweet. What they tend to do is, if they find out how you're doing it, they try and replicate it if they can, and do it themselves. I've had that happen. So again, it's going to be a case of keep the source of your traffic as secret as possible, but do talk about it with each affiliate manager that you have in each different network, and you usually have a rep, and then just say, listen, this is what I'm thinking about doing for a offer. What offer would match this model that you know of? And then let them pick one that they know is okay with it. And that
Right.
way it's kind of sanctioned from their side, and then you can point the finger back at them and hold them responsible.
And which leads me to my next question is, when they do that, what is the best way to get accepted, get approved? Because like I said, it's kind of a test blog that I'm working on, and I know that you have to fill out an application with some, and they ask you for your website and stuff like that. Is it good to give them something totally off kilter, like maybe a local website, or is it good to give them a website that you offer, IM products or Amazon products or something like that on, or what's the proper way to fill out that form to almost guarantee you acceptance?
I tend not to fill out the forms.
Okay.
I come at it from a completely different angle. Here's what I do. I contact them. I phone them up and I interview them. And I tell them, I drive traffic to many different offers in many different ways. There is no one way that will fit the system. I want to know, basically, are you a company I want to work with? I'm working with many different ones, but we're expanding our network. And I put them on the spot. Now, what I will do afterwards is I will fill in a form saying, you know what, and I'll tell the person I'm speaking to, is usually what we call a gatekeeper, and I'll tell them, I said, okay, this is what I'm working with. I said, I do paid traffic, I do social traffic, I do email traffic, but I need to know what offers you've got that are converting well, what's their EPCs, and I put them on the spot, and I get them to try and to convince me that I should put my marketing weight with them. So if you come at it from a completely different mindset, rather than what will you do to accept me, I put it on them. What should you do that's going to make me accept you? And if you come at it from that mindset, you will see a very strong dynamic shift in their attitude, and they will try and court you for your business. You don't have to exaggerate what you do. Just say, well, I do everything. What have you got right now in this particular market that might interest me?
That so sounds like me when you speak like that, because it's like, what can I do for you, not necessarily what you can do for me, but yeah.
Exactly. Well, when people try and get into these bigger networks and stuff like that, first of all, a lot of these larger networks are newbie friendly because they know there's a lot of new marketers out there. But if you come at it from the other end and say, okay, what can you do to help, what are you going to do to help me put more money in your pocket? Changes their attitudes, and that's always good.
Now, when you're talking about the big networks, the ones that I've researched that are pretty good were Max Bounty and Peerfly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other secrets up your sleeve anywhere you can share with us?
Those two are very newbie friendly, and I would say that they're good. But I'll have to find. I've got a list of about 100 networks.
Yeah.
There's some that specialize, for example, in the health sector. There's some that work in the finance sector. the Max Bounties, the Neverblue ads, which their company filed Chapter 11, but they're still in existence. Peerfly. Another one I like, which is pretty cool, is CPA Way. But there's lots of them. I'm trying to remember. If you look in the ICM, I think you've got in the ICM plugin, I had a list of like 100 and a way to get accepted with those. And if you read that, that's pretty good. And guys, anyone else here that's got the Instant Commission Magnet plugin, have a look at that resource pack that I put with that. That has more information about getting accepted with the CPA networks as well. It's kind of a good reference guide for that.
Okay. And one other theory that you brought up tonight that was just curious to me, if is there a way to double tap, what I call double tap, and can we make them post it social, and then when you get a content locker, of course you can adjust, you don't necessarily have to adjust the page, you can adjust the button. So if they can use, like your social plugin, content locker, they're socialize it, and then when they click the button to download whatever it is, music, movie, information, PDF, whatever, then it can take them directly to a CPA form. That seems perfectly logical in my head. As coding
Yes.
and WordPress goes, you think that works?
Absolutely. What you do is, for example, with this offer here, or this setup I just showed you, you can set up 2 different social lockers. One with the social sharing, one with the following, and all you do is you create a extra bonus to give them away. Hey, you can unlock this bonus if you post this on your wall right now, and then, or you can skip it. Or you can, on the 3rd page, then you give them, whichever download option they've chosen and unlocked by sharing it, by liking you, by following you. You could have an entire chain of those. And we've talked about something similar to that a while ago with a way, basically that exact flow. But yes, even with what I'm showing you right now with this one social locker, you could set up 2 different social lockers with 2 different configuration options and have just 2 extra pages in your kind of, I would call it your social funnel there.
But you would have to set up the second locker as a click on a button, more or less, than a page lock. Is that correct?
Well, it would kind of be the same thing, because all you do, if you look at this one here, say for example this is the super secret download one, I'll change this one, and then instead of I'll change the text obviously to describe it, but instead of the tweet, like, and share, which is the social follow, I would do something like, turn this off, okay, turn that off, and that off. I would now have it say as because those ones are the ones that would post it. Now I would have it as the follow, maybe the share or what have you, or maybe change the buttons around or what have you. And, you could just, okay, I haven't set up a URL for the Twitter account, but you get the idea. You could play and set up different buttons to do different things, and or a different plugin that allows you to do that, and have the thank you page set up to actually whatever the full download is, because they took that action rather than anything else. So you could possibly do that, yes.
Okay, cool. And my last question is, when is this beautiful IMSC Flex coming out? When can we download this thing?
I'm hoping next week. I'm going to be working on that over the weekend, and then hopefully by next Wednesday you guys will have it in your hands ready to rock.
All right, Sean, all good as well. Thank you, man. You're the best.
Thank you. A lot of questions there tonight, and that is absolutely awesome, guys. Love it when we get stuff like this. So what I'm going to do now is, we've got a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap this puppy up. Let me go over to Nick, first of all. Go ahead, Nick. What's your question, sir?
Sean, I was just wondering if we can get some more training on how to use the Promote Me Pro.
Sure. What kind of training do you need? Give me an idea.
Oh, well, my Twitter isn't being activated. For some reason, it sort of locks out. I can't remember what the exact wording is, but just hoping that we can get a little bit more on, say, running a campaign with that.
Well, tell you what, if we have time next week, I'll do a little bit on that for you as well. How about that?
Fantastic.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
And let me do that. So yeah, I mean, just as a heads up as well, guys, we are releasing a few optimizations to Promote Me Pro. Some people have been reporting a couple of speed issues on shared servers. So we're adding a new Ajax function, which is going to load, basically it'll work in parallel without overloading your CPU, and it'll do a sequential promotion. We're doing a couple of extra things. So those updates, I'm hoping, well, it's going to be one major update we're going to release. We were hoping to have it done today, but I want to do some extra testing on it. So that should be released on, I'm hoping by Sunday/Monday. Okay, I want to do extra testing over the weekend. So, but we've got a few other things that we're doing. Again, continuous upgrades, continuous ideas, some great feedback from customers and members. So I do want to let you guys know about that as well. Okay, so let's do two more, and then we're going to wrap it up. So let me go with Ivan first of all. Go ahead, Ivan. What's your question, sir?
Hello, good night. My question is, what is your opinion in using Google Hangouts to run webinars? I'm worried.
Good question. Mark Thompson, who's a very good friend of mine, and Walt Bayliss are doing a couple of plugins that allow you to do that. Very, very cool. It works very, very well, but only live. There are some limitations. I think it works great for the interview style. I think it works great for letting people review the pre-recorded videos from that. I prefer doing them the way I'm doing them here, but there are some interesting options when you're doing live interviews that work very well in that regard, but it's really got to be a case of, well, here's the thing. When you're doing any webinar, it's bloody expensive to get the right setup, and Google's really pushing hard on doing the live videos and the live streaming. Now, that is very, very powerful, but you do have a limitation on how many people can be watching that at any one time. So basically, recording it through Hangouts, pushing it up to YouTube, works very, very well, and then you basically do a pre-recorded video. It looks like it's live. Doing a live Hangout session and then having lots and lots of people on there, I don't know where they're going to go with that, but it's, I mean, put it this way, the President of the United States uses it, lots of other companies use it, some sports celebrities use it, and do large live broadcasts. I think it's a technology that's going to grow from strength to strength. And I think, yes, there are opportunities there for using it for webinars and saving yourself a small fortune. I mean, I pay a fortune for all my webinar stuff. But then again, it gives me extra bells and whistles I cannot do otherwise. Like, for example, this hands up, hands down, live polls, live chat, the whole mute, unmute, live questions. There's a few different things that it's a lot easier to control this way, and some stuff you just cannot do with Google Hangout.
Yeah, about Google keeping a copy of our webinars and the privacy of the webinar, like, is everyone normal use?
Okay, I'm afraid you're breaking up a lot there. Give it a couple of seconds, see if it catches up. No, we're breaking up there. Sorry, Ivan, you're breaking up. If you type in your question, I'll try and answer that for you. Don's asking, should I hold if I'm on a shared server? Don, I'm not sure if that is, if you're talking about Promote Me Pro. If you are, A lot of people are doing fine with Promote Me Pro on a shared server. Some people who are on really, really limited servers have been reporting an issue. But, you know, everything we do, we always do like as many pushes and speed tweaks as we can, so that even on a dedicated server with hundreds of accounts like I do, every bit of speed helps. So no, you should be good, but give it a shot. Joe's asking what password manager I'm using. It's called 1Password. I mentioned that earlier on, but it's kind of like it's a very, very well-known one by Agile Bits, and it works on the Mac, the PC, and it syncs. So, for example, I put my password file on Dropbox, and then what happens is between my iPad, my iPhone, my Android, any of my desktop computers, all of my passwords are basically retrieved from that cloud file, which is encrypted and secure, and it works perfectly. And all I do then is, if I've got this little thing up here, I've got all my bits and pieces, and I can literally access them, and it automatically fills in, logs in, and I'm good to go. I used to use RoboForm on the PC, but because I'm on a Mac and mobile, this is the best one I found for that. So yeah, Paul also mentioned RoboForm, but because I primarily use a Mac and all the other devices. Now RoboForm may have changed. I don't know. I haven't used it in a long time, but 1Password literally works for everything. So again, not knocking RoboForm, great, but I haven't used it in a long time. But you get the idea. Okay, here's Ivan's question. I'm worried about Google keeping a copy of our webinars and the privacy of the webinar. I mean, could any normal YouTube user watch the webinar I meant to be private? Yes, possibly, because Google Hangouts tend to be public. You can. There are some settings where you can kind of obviously keep people out, but the privacy, yeah, kind of Google Hangouts are meant to be only to your circles, only to your groups and things like that. But you got to just check your settings as you're doing it. But yeah, I mean, Google can certainly see what you're doing with a webinar. So yeah, again, privacy. I like to keep Google out of everything I do in that regard. And Paul's saying that RoboForm is now cloud-based as well. Let's have a look at RoboForm. I haven't done that for a while. If you want to just store all your passwords in one setup where you can share all that stuff, that's cool. But yeah, look here, it's mobile now. Okay, good. And it is showing that it's on every platform. Oh, there you go. So yeah, you've got two options then. And no, that's absolutely awesome. Never used to be on the Mac. So that's pretty damn cool. And they all have browser plugins, so that for any browser you have a little thing kind of like this that allows you to switch across. So, Paul, that's great news. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, we'll do one more question here, and then we'll rock and roll out of here. I'm just going to do a scan, see if there's anyone we haven't talked to. So go ahead. Let's go with Leonard. Leonard, go ahead, sir. How you doing, and what can I do for you?
Hey, is it me you've got, Leonard?
That's correct, Leonard. How you doing, sir?
Great, great. I got in late. I had to go to a Starbucks. Anyways, I'm hoping that you're. We mentioned last week about the next level of subscribership, because where I'm at is, I've bought so many things, and I've been trying to learn so many things, and been trying to get launched, just like that movie. And I'm like the movie, failure to launch. Now the reason why is, of course, there's all these tools, and as I put in the chat box, why I'd like the next level is not that I need the exact hand-holding, but when you talk about from the level of basically what company to go with, like I'm with GoDaddy, I've been with them a long time to host stuff, and I've done websites a little bit with Front Page, but that it wasn't my focus until the last few years, and yet still I've got one or two businesses. So even like as an example, I bought Social Cash Rockstar, which gave me Spy Tool and Webinar System. And, it's costing me $67 a month, even though I haven't even had a chance to go through it because I had, boot camp press release. So the problem I see, I tend to be in that circle of more trying to learn, and then again, failure to launch. But the whole idea, just like the things you're reviewing tonight, like having the ability to get with an entity. And even when you do that next level, I'm sure it's not going to be you. I'm sure it's either the support staff or someone So when I'm trying to figure out what server to use or hosting and you know, using WordPress or whether I should use your IMS Flex, what plugins, the social stuff. You know, I bought your Ping Fresh. I bought the not Rapid Content, the other one you just mentioned. But, you know, using all these tools. So there you go.
No, that's absolutely right. Yeah, we are planning on launching that ASAP. I think what you need, and this is just this is same with anyone else who wants that extra little bit. I am going to start doing a little more one-on-one for just getting people on the right path. I mean, I do 2 packages most of the time. One is a 6-week course, and it's 6 weeks, and every 2 weeks we do like basically 3 sessions.
Okay.
And we do that. Basically, it's find out, okay, where you want to be, what you want to do, and how we're going to get you there. And it's like 3 one-hour sessions, and it's literally, let's get you laser focused on a destination, and everything else is a distraction. Here's where you want to be. Here's how you're going to get there, and then we'll do. And then basically, I'll give you an action plan that you execute on over 6 weeks, and then that's going to put you on the path, and then you're off to the races. And then we do another program, which is a 6-month program, which is every couple of weeks, and then that's much more intensive, but that's going to be, that's also a lot of money as well. So those are the 2 programs I do, and you know, we try. I won't go over pricing here because it's not a sales pitch, but those are a couple of things that we do and have done in the past, and I will be opening up the doors on again very shortly.
Okay, and then by any chance, through all the IMS, you know, or being in this program, is there one good document you have that really lays out all these different elements? Like, let's say from, you know, again, the hosting to really whether using WordPress, your own, you know, web development program. You know, back a year ago, I bought WebEasy, you know, 7.8, or, you know, you get the free upgrades. But of course, now you've got the IMS Flex, you know, and of course, then the plugins, the difference of WordPress. Is there a document that lays out these different things, or like a mind map? You know, like just like if you're showing the different thing, the password things, the social locker. You know, there's so many things. It almost boggles the mind sometimes.
No, there's not really a document, because honestly, everything changes. That document would never be able to stay updated, which is why we do the Ask Sean sessions. But if you want to get back to basics and just literally create yourself something from scratch and get on the right path, look at the Kickstart program. Then do that first. That gives you all of the basics. Then go through the Accelerator program, because I start to cover then things in minutia, but with very specific things. Okay, it's like, here's how you do video marketing. Here's how you get into social marketing. Here's how you do this. And literally, I break down all of the tools and resources I use, and that's literally a good step-by-step guide that'll probably get you on the path you want to be on.
Sure. So basically where I'll be, because I hate to admit it, you know, my business has been, so I do food service equipment, horrible. Yeah. I mean, just, I own inventory, and, you know, I hate to admit it, the economy here in the U.S. went right through my retirement money, and that's why I've been, you know, I spent a lot of money on many different programs. One of the ones I've also just been trying to do is, I don't know if you've heard about it, Amazing Selling Machines, to go do, you know, an Amazon store. These guys seem to be pretty good. And, you know, you never know, and it was very expensive. Matter of fact, it's the last one I'll spend that kind of money on, because the idea being is all the tools that you're slowly bringing along, and don't get me wrong, you know, they're in a specific niche of what they're training and what they're offering you. But as I've bought in different things, all of a sudden, like, you know, I had bought that Social Emperor. Well, you introduced at the time that simple plugin. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, you have to know a little bit more what to do. I think the Social Emperor, you pay for it, and all the tools are there, a little more point and click easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, basically, you pay for the convenience in that regard, and you know, it's one of those things. Is the more it does for you, the more it's going to cost you,
right? Sure.
And stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just, you've got to decide, and this is the same for anyone in this group. If you know what you want to do, you've got to decide what you want to do, and then backtrack it of, okay, now how am I going to get there? And then you know, you can hire, you know, work with a mentor, or you know, pay someone to start you on the right path. Or the thing is that there are a lot of people that buy everything that goes out there, and then, like you say, never use them. They're all put aside because the next shiny object comes along.
Right,
I was guilty of that for the longest time as well.
Right. That's why. Now, granted, hopefully, I'd love to do the 6-month mentoring. Hopefully, it's not too much. Or not only that, I need to hit a few home runs with my business in sales. But it's what I need because this is what I've decided to go do. I'm 56. The equipment thing's nice, but I'm in Florida. I physically can't even handle it anymore. But this is what I've been wanting to do for a few years. I got very sidetracked because of a sick mom and just other things. But I got to get focused, and I know I can do it. I'm an old computer guy, and I've got the capabilities. Just getting focused, knowing which tools. But you just answered. I'll start with your Kickstart, and I'll go through those steps. And I guess I can probably still through the system send some questions in, not just in these sessions, correct?
You can. Just make sure you're in the Skype room. And, if you've got a quick question, there's going to be someone who's out there that can likely point you in the right direction.
Exactly. Thanks, Sean. You're the best. This is incredible stuff. I wish I got out with you at the beginning of this thing,
Hey, I'm glad I can help. That's what we're here for. So thanks very much, Leonard. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for tonight's session. I'm going to rock and roll out of here. I'm going to let you guys go as well. Enjoy your Friday night. I'm going to get this burning as soon as we're done and get this up on the website. And like I said, I'm going to work on the site builder myself this weekend. This one is not built by anyone else but me, for me. So I'm going to also make sure that it's built for you as well with everything we've put in here. Lots of love and care and attention and a few extra bells and whistles because, hey, that's what I do. So until then, until next Wednesday, fingers crossed, it'll all be ready for you, but we'll see how that goes. And then we'll do this again next Wednesday at 6 p.m. So until then, thank you very much for spending your Friday night with me. Take care.